All right, today we are diving into something that sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi novel. It's a pitch for a brand new kind of game that mashes up predictive AI, the world of Pokémon, and the crazy popular blind box trend from Pop Mart. Let's get into it.
So let me just throw this out there. Imagine you're hunting for a super rare Pokémon figure. But what if getting it wasn't just about luck? What if it was directly tied to how the Japanese yen is performing on the global market right now? That's the wild, mind-bending concept we're exploring.
So yeah, what we're looking at is a real strategic proposal. The whole idea is to fuse these worlds that you'd never think to put together. AI that predicts financial markets, the addictive fun of collecting toys, and some of the biggest brands on the planet. They're trying to create a whole new category of fun called predictive entertainment collectibles.
Now you might be thinking, who on earth could even attempt something this ambitious? Well, the whole proposal really hangs on bringing together a very unlikely team of visionaries.
It all comes down to these three pillars. First, you've got Fractal AI. They're the brains of the operation, bringing the next-gen predictive tech. Then, of course, Nintendo's Pokémon, a franchise that is loved, I mean truly loved, all over the globe. And finally, you have Pop Mart, the company that has absolutely mastered the blind box model. You know, the thrill of not knowing what you're going to get.
The official vision laid out here is to create the Pokémon X Fractal AI X Pop Mart Digital Gachapon. Whew, that is a mouthful. But the key word here is gachapon. Think of those capsule toy vending machines you see all over Japan. The goal is to take that feeling of surprise and pump it full of high-tech AI analytics and the undeniable appeal of Pokémon and Pop Mart.
Okay, so that's the big picture. But what does this actually look like for you, the player? How would you actually use this AI gachapon machine? The user journey is actually pretty straightforward. You start by paying about 100 yen for a digital capsule. Then you get to pick one of 10 predictions made by the AI about the financial market. Something like, the US dollar will go down against the Japanese yen. And then you wait. This is the suspense window, anywhere from 4 to 8 hours. After that time is up, the live market data comes in, and boom, your prize is revealed. You can then claim it as either a real physical figurine or a digital NFT. The real hook here, the thing that makes it so addictive, is what the proposal calls the retail lottery effect. It's that classic gachapon feeling, you know, turning the crank and waiting for that little plastic ball to drop, but it's supercharged with the modern blind box magic that Pop Mart is famous for. It's all about that suspenseful reveal.
But here's the kicker. This isn't just about random luck. Not at all. Let's pull back the curtain and take a look at the technology that's driving this whole experience, the AI engine itself.
The link between what the AI predicts and the prize you get is incredibly direct. It's not abstract at all. If the AI's prediction makes a small profit, say plus 6 pips, you get a small toy. If it makes a big profit, like a 25 pip gain, you get a big toy. But if the AI's prediction is wrong and it loses money, you get nothing. Simple as that.
And there's another really cool layer here. It's not just about the one specific prediction you picked. If the AI's overall forecast for that whole 4-hour period turns out to be correct, then everybody who played gets to claim a super grand prize. It's like a community bonus for trusting the algorithm.
An idea this massive needs a business case to back it up, right? So let's look at the numbers. What kind of market opportunity are they actually chasing, and how do they plan to get this thing off the ground?
So the pitch claims that the total market they can tap into is worth over $29 billion. And this isn't just one single market. They're combining the gachapon market, the pop culture collectibles market, the emerging AI entertainment space, and consumer fintech. They want to own the space where all of those overlap.
And if you look at their proposed budget for an initial $3.5 million, you can see exactly where their priorities lie. The biggest chunk by far, $1.2 million, goes straight to the AI cloud and data infrastructure. The very next biggest piece? Licensing, getting Pokémon and Pop Mart on board. That just shows you how essential those brands are to making this whole thing work.
You know the ambition here is just off the charts. The pitch doesn't hold back. It brings up the legendary investor Jim Simons and his firm Renaissance Technologies, basically saying, hey, they proved you could use math to beat the markets. Now we want to give that same power to everybody. So they're not just framing this as a game, they see it as a way to make really sophisticated technology fun and accessible for all of us.
When you boil it all down, this is really about changing what it even means to be a collector. You go from a passive hobby, where you buy a thing and put it on your shelf, to an active, dynamic experience. The value of your collection is live, it's constantly changing, and it seamlessly connects the physical things you own with a digital world. Collecting becomes a game that you play with real-world data.
And that leaves us with this one final massive question. Is this the future of play? A revolutionary new way to have fun that merges entertainment with data in a way we've just never seen? Or is it something else? Is it just a really clever, beautifully designed casino dressed up in the cute and friendly faces of characters we all know and love? The proposal makes a bold case, and it's definitely something to think about.